Alright guys, Chris here with RonBootsFarm, and today we are going to be playing with a torch. This is a Red Dragon. It's actually a pack, complete propane torch backpack kit, 400,000 BTU flame weeder. Now I got this for a couple different reasons. One, I will be using it probably later to do some flame weeding around my chicken fences and other fences where I have the woven wire fence that goes down to the ground. When you weed eat that, of course, it's hard to do because you hit the wire and it just cuts down your weed eater line, just rubs it right down with the friction from hitting that. And then, you know, next thing you know, you're changing out your weed eater line every 5 minutes. So I will probably use it for that. But what I really got it for right now is that I'm going to do some shou, and I hope that's pronouncing it right, type burning on the plywood walls that I put up in the storage room. If you haven't ever heard of that, you can look it up if you Google shou wood burning. It's basically a Japanese technique where you take flame and they burn wood to seal it off. Now I'm not going to burn it as much as they do. I'm going to do a light burn on it because I want to get a little color on it, but I don't want to char it. One, it's already up on the wall, so I don't want to burn the building down, which is could happen. I will have a water hose available when I do this, just in case I get a little much. But I just want to get a little color, and I don't want to have to clean all that off. I'm just clean it up. I'm planning on just doing the burn, and then the light burn, and then using a rag with some water to kind of wipe off the soot, and then leave it at that. So I'm going to try it out first on some scrap wood, and then in the storage room. And then hopefully if that turns out, I do have some other ideas for the other rooms we plan on building in the barn with a little more color, maybe doing the burn with some stain over the top of it, or even doing a pallet wood inlay either at the top of the wall or midway in the wall with some stained colors to give it a little bit more color. But in the storage room here, we're just going to do the burn and just leave it at that, and then put up some shelving to get some storage in there. So that's what we're doing today. We'll get this unboxed. All right, here we have it unboxed. You have the hose. It comes with a 10-pound tank, which is of course smaller than your normal propane grill tank. The flame weeder itself, the backpack, and of course instructions. And in there, let me pick that up where you can see it. There is the striker, and there's also a squeeze handle to kind of control the flame. When you get, they have different models of these, and you can get it without that, where it just has the dial on to set it, and you just set it and it burns the entire time. Or you can get the squeeze handle here, if you can see that, to control it. The hose on this one is a 5-foot hose. Now I did go back and forth on which one I wanted because of that, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. And then this, of course, is the burner itself. So that is what comes in the box with the, I'll put this up here where you can see a little closer, the Red Dragon complete propane torch backpack kit, 400,000 BTUs weeder. All right, before we get started, you know what, and I'm always looking at this iPhone. If y'all wonder why I'm looking off the side, it depends on which side of the phone I look at. It always looks like I'm looking over crazy here. So. Before we get started with the burning the wood, I did want to talk a little bit about the research I did on these. So I was looking up flame weeders because I wanted to do this shou type burn. There's many of them out there, a lot cheaper ones. I know you can get them at Harbor Freight as well, but I did want one that would last a while, and this Red Dragon brand seemed to be one that was most highly rated. It's made here in the US in Kansas, I believe. So I decided to go with the Red Dragon, even though it was a little more expensive. At first I was just going to get just the straight flame weeder. They have a 500,000 BTU one that you can use for flame weeding, and also later if you wanted to heat up metal or that type of thing for any kind of metal work. And so and that one came with a 10-foot hose, and it was quite a bit cheaper. So I was going to get that one and just hook it to a normal propane tank from the grill. I have 4 or 5 of those. I got plenty of them, and it came with a 10-foot hose. So I was going to use that. And then I figured I could just carry the tank with me if I wanted to use it in the garden or around fences, set it down, and I could go 10 feet in each direction, 20 feet at a time. But 2 things. One, I wanted to get started this weekend on this because we're trying to get some stuff moved for my mom and grandmother's house, which I've mentioned in other videos. They're moving here, and this was the only one that I could get on Amazon Prime that would be here by this weekend. So that factored into it. And then two, this one did come with the backpack and the smaller tank, and I thought, well, if I eventually redo the side fences on our property with the woven wire, and I wanted to use this to, again, not have to be weed eating or that type of thing down there, then it might be handy to have the backpack with the tank. I could always get another 10-pound tank, and that way I could get them both filled, strap it on, and then walk around the property within an hour or so probably, and get the flame weeding done. So that was what went into my thoughts about getting this brand. I will probably just hook it to one of my propane tanks to do the burn, but I may put on the backpack just to see how it feels and show you guys that. And then later on, if I want to get the higher BTU one, I can just get that one straight and hook it to a tank if I think I need it. But 400,000 BTUs is a lot of heat, so I probably will never need the other one. So that was my thoughts into getting this. Again, this brand is made here in the United States, in Kansas, and seemed to be well thought of on the internet with the reviews I read. So that's why I went with this one. So we're going to get this hooked up now, and we'll see how it works. All right, guys, so this comes with some thread sealing compound, and you just use that to put on all of your joints and put this thing together. All right, and that's just putting together the, can you see me? The torch part of it. You got the torch itself, the male adapter, with this model, again, the squeeze valve, the handle, and then your hose, and then the adapter on the end that screws into your propane tank. So pretty easy. Of course, I've gotten the lock, the thread lock, pipe dope, as grandfather always called it, everywhere. And like my power rental used to say, when dealing with this or caulk or silicone or anything else, you might as well lay down and take a bath in it, because you're going to get it all over yourself before you're done. So I have got it all over this and the handle, so I will clean that up, and then we'll see about getting it connected to the propane tank and see if we can burn some wood up. All right, so I wanted to come back and just show, again, we're going to use a larger propane tank that I already have. This one's empty anyway that comes with it, but I did want to show putting it on the backpack. So this is the backpack. I've got straps and a strap to go around your waist. You can see that. Spin around to the back. The tank sits in the bracket at the bottom. You can see that that bracket with the ledge there. You have to turn it sideways so that your handle here doesn't get in the way. And then it has just a bolt, a washer, and a wing nut to put through there. So easy enough to put that on there. I'll put this on and show you what that looks like, and then we'll hook it up to our other tank. right, guys, so you can see how that turned out on my test run. Puts a little pattern there, brings out the grain in the wood, so that's what we plan on doing. I don't know if you could see it in the video while I was doing that, but it did, you know, there was some coals, little embers that were forming there as I was doing it, so I will have a water hose, and I'm going to pull around here just in case. And as soon as I go over a section, and of course I'll be watching it, I'm going to have some wet rags available too, just to wipe it down to make sure that we don't burn the barn down here. So we're going to move everything in there and start doing the storage room.